So back when Hyrox and Deca and all this shit first started showing up, and even I think even back in TMX was happening, and everybody's like, "Oh, this guy would be good at it. This girl would be good at this. All this stuff." And I always said like, "Fucking Sammy Bear will kill this shit." And I waited and waited and waited and waited, and I'm like, "What the fuck took so long, Sam?"
Life. um, I had planned to try out Hyrox at the beginning of last year, 2023.
Hmm.
It was hosted Houston, Texas,
Yeah.
I think, but it got postponed or the date changed, and we already had book or flights out there, but didn't reserve the race ticket.
Hmm.
Um, it was back then when Hyrox didn't go sold out in like
Yeah.
5 days. And that was the time we aimed to go for try our first Hyrox. And the 2023 years just got so intense and insane on so many level, not athletic side. So I took my focus on other stuff. And this year it just went all out in consolidating those different sphere and stuff that were going all over the place. And 5 or 6 weeks from now, I start back training more maybe consistency with Jim, who is IROX affiliated, and they make me try it out. And I was like, oh, okay, I really enjoyed that kind of push right now. It helped me like focus and got some new friends who told me, hey, you should come over. We're going to New York. I was like, let's go. And I looked it out and it was sold out. So I got other friends who said, yeah, but we're going to Anaheim 2 weeks before New York. Are you down to come? That was like literally 2 weeks before Anaheim. And I was like, yeah, why not? That would be a fun trip. And finally, I could go and try out IROX full distances because I have tried two half so far that I've been hosting Montreal and I enjoy them a lot. So yeah, that's just the honest answer.
Well, it's crazy because I mean, you did literally jump in the deep end.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
you could not have picked a more competitive race other than already being in the Elite 15 and going to the majors. Like this
Yeah,
was as high as it gets. I mean, and
there was some solid dude out there, and that was great because this is what I'm chasing. Actually, I'm not chasing other guys. I'm chasing my own personal like evolution and growth. But it's always nice to have a field stack of people who like lift you up, literally. So this is why I'm racing at first. So it was cool going out there and seeing all that strong guys were showing up. I didn't even know Austin will be there. Like I learned it the day before, so I was so happy to learn about it because he had the Canadian record. And in my head, I was going for that. I was going to try to go under an hour for myself, and I knew that going under an hour would mean probably go for the Canadian record. I didn't plan that 3 second.
well,
So it was
it would have been nice.
insane.
And I mean, obviously, this probably won't be an issue in the future. And I don't blame Hyrox because realistically, from their perspective, who are you, right?
I was an underdog. I'm
That's
nowhere.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. They have
And that
nothing
was
to base
feeling
on.
good, actually. It was cool to go
Yeah.
out there and having nobody expecting anything out there, only the guy that I know. So when I saw Hunter at the beginning, just hiding himself and looking at the station and braining his performance was cool to chat with him and talked about whole days and how far we've been in the last 12 years of racing against or together in the OCR and hybrid sports. So yeah,
Yeah, so it hasn't just been like we haven't seen you do any hybrid sports, but we haven't seen you in OCR as well. So I mean, just again, just life, your business, and I mean, young
totally.
child, all that stuff, very,
Yeah,
very
that's it.
busy, right?
That's it exactly. So I haven't raised that much. 2022, not
Mhm.
a lot. I've been at a couple of good races in 2023. It keeps showing me that Daddy can run, so that's good. Some confident boosters, and just I keep moving. This is my passion. This is my way of life, I would say. So it's part of my profession at the same time. So It's just my go-to every time that I need to vent, to get some headspace or whatever. But I haven't been training according to a specific plan. I would say pretty much the whole last year. So I just started this back maybe 2 months ago, and it feels great. It feels really great.
So you got up there and came ninth or eighth or whatever it was in the LCQ training for a couple months.
Yeah,
That
I literally
that should
have
terrify a lot
tryouts,
of people.
maybe. And it's positively terrifying too, because I'm like, yeah, next time I think it always depends on the venue. I know Hyrox is a
Yeah.
standardized the rock zone and everything, but it's changing and
Yeah.
it's hard to reproduce something. It just felt so good to me having that experience of running OCR with no standards at all,
Yeah.
or low standard in terms of comparison in between events.
Yeah.
I know Spartan trying to make it as standard as possible, but with trails and stuff, it's we cannot compare one race to another. One super can take you an hour, and another one can take you an hour and a half,
Yeah,
and
you
you have to
can't
be pushing
compare
it.
a Mount
So
Tremblant super to a Red Deer
exactly,
super.
that's it. So IROX, that's a different aspect of it, and I really enjoy that preparing myself in the last coming weeks. So pushing in the training and seeing my times improving weeks after weeks just by working on my mechanics and strength training for those specific station with the pro weights. It was a really good confident boosters and feeling like I'm doing something in a specific direction. So I enjoy that. So I do believe 58 is a decent time for an next attempt for
Yeah, I
Aerox.
mean, and like you say, it was it would have been really nice to have seen you and Isaac be able to race side
Yeah,
by side.
so
That would have
much.
been great fun. Like, and I don't know how much you've had a chance to talk with Isaac, but a great young kid and
Yeah,
just,
he's
I
an
mean,
amazing dude.
such potential and such a classy kid. Like you
Exactly. I would say honestly, he got massive potential, but I would say classy first because
yeah.
he's such a nice guy.
Oh,
And I had the chance to speak and race with him in the couple of last years. We podium together at some Spartan in 2023, and I know he went maybe more full athlete in the last year. He moved to the US and stuff, so I'm really happy for him. And it was nice having him out there. I would really have loved to put the chase more together. I catch him on a running lap, but I
yeah.
knew he had like station in front of me because we left like 10 minutes at separate time. And for sure, at the end, when I realized that we had 3 minutes apart, I was like, ah, damn, I would have loved to be on the same start and we could have pushed and I could have cut that 3 minutes. But at the same time, he would have pushed. So
Yeah.
we could have battled even further. But this is going to be just for another event and it's going to be great.
We'll see what keeps going through my head because is what do we got to do to get a team, like a male relay team of Austin, Sam, Isaac, and
Awesome.
Jesse Bruce out there all together,
Totally. Totally.
rocking a four-man team and see what we can clean up there.
Yeah.
That'd be great. All right, so I want to talk about just the race itself, and I got your splits here. So
Okay.
we'll just do a little share of the screen.
Perfect. Because I don't know them.
There we are. All right, here we
Exactly.
go. Here we are. Mr. Samuel Hebert splits. So Ken went out the gate 326 for that first kilometer. And did you have like your strategy in mind and setting kind of a pace you wanted to hit? And you said you talked to
I
Hunter before. Were you in Hunter's wave? Like,
No, Hunter
okay,
was two wave after me actually. I think he left at 5:40. I left at
okay,
5:20.
all right,
No, we speak like hours before because the thing is that I show up at the Conventum Center 4 hours before my event because I was cheering on one of my friends who
yeah,
was leaving at 2:20. And that was honestly exhausting. Like the venue, it's nice, it's well planned, such a well structured stuff, but so chaotic at the same point. I'm used to be in the woods, me, myself, and I pretty much with
yeah,
a couple of other racers around me, but I'm in my zone and I can feel like it's resourceful. Out there, I was like overstimulated and losing energy just by being there. That was a
yeah.
feeling that I got, and I felt in Hunter during that cheering out section. But it feels good to talk with him. But yeah, I got a strategy in mind. My first strategy was to go easy on my
Mhm.
first section of the race, and I was evaluating that first section until the end of the sled pull was a hard one for me
Yep.
in my upcoming 5 weeks of practicing. So I told myself, I know the first kilometers will go hard because we all start together, but I will find myself into that, pace myself. I got a lot of experience knowing what I can handle. So that wasn't a problem for me. The goal was just to count my laps, know
Yeah.
where I'm going into that maze, and be sure I don't screw up and make a stupid mistakes. So that was the first goal. And the second one was to go kind of easy and warm up until the sled pull. And after that, start to push a little bit more and a little bit more.
Well, you can see like when you got out your run, you were at a 326, which is, a decent pace. And then you were like 38th on your ski erg.
Yeah,
So
that
like
was a
that
soft one.
to
Yeah.
me, that seems like again, when you're there at the beginning, one of two things. Either you're out of your league
Mm-hmm.
or you're pacing, which I mean,
Exactly.
obviously you were pacing. So you were,
Totally.
which I think for your first one is so smart, right? You don't want to get caught up in all that emotion and that craziness because
Exactly.
people will go out there just skiing like a
And
130s and just blowing up.
totally. So I wasn't looking at other guys actually. I was just doing my own race. I was in my zone, vibing, and I really enjoyed that, honestly. And not starting with Isaac might have been a positive thing because I had nobody to relate on
Yeah.
because I don't know the people who I was running with. Instead of running with Austin and Isaac on the first wave, I would have might push a bit more,
Hmm.
and that could have cost me um, worse at the end because this kind of event it was my first attempt, but I know that it's easy to blow up.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I don't want to happen. So
Yeah. So, and you ran out again, very consistent on your second run, just like your first, and a 217 on the sled.
yeah.
So I don't get surprised when guys at OCR are good at the sled. And it's not, especially when they're stronger OCR guys, right? The guys are
Mm-hmm.
a little more mass to them
Mm-hmm.
because the climbing legs push
Yeah.
the sled well.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I'm a tall guy, so I lean in forward. I practice it, and I find it easier at Hyrox than the gym where I practice it in the last coming weeks. So I pace myself on the practice zone to push the sled straight for a one go, take a good rest, push again, take a good rest. So I didn't want to stop through my pushing lane because you got
Yeah.
four 12.5 meter to push because I found like once you start breaking the inertia and makes it move, it's easier to keep it going instead of having to start it back again. And it's not that exhausting for me, the 12.5 meters. So, but I got surprised on how less rest I had to take in between my push instead in my training zone. Because in
Okay.
my training, I was almost taking a minute per line per push.
All right.
So like 20-second push, 40-second rest, and back and forth. But now I did like, I think 15-second push, 30 seconds rest or something like that. And it feels great.
Yeah, and that's unusual. I think that's new, right? Because the sleds the way they were before they brought these new center sleds in, or it was like people were like never go all the way across because you're gonna blow up if you do, and it seems to
Yeah.
have changed. The game has changed,
Yeah.
and I mean, so
It
it might
was
have
more
been,
sticky, I guess.
yeah, it was just different, right?
Yeah.
Um, so that was good. You rolled in there again in a fairly consistent run, drop off a little bit, but then you sled pull. You said this was one you're not fond of the sled pull.
Yeah, that's it. And I should be good at it because still I got a decent weight, so a
Hmm.
decent grip. I got some good forearms and grip to pull too. Strong upper body by Ninja and obstacle and stuff. But the technique around it in the box of 2 meters of going backwards, mixing by pulling and walking forward, dropping the rope. I hadn't studied this enough,
Yeah.
and I can improve this
Oh yeah.
uh, clearly. So this is fun because you see, I don't think I can cut 30 seconds efficiently on my sled push, but I can clearly cut it on my sled pull and feel the same level of fatigue. So that's good.
Yeah.
And the rope was slippery a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I feel it hard on
again,
that one.
that's something that's changed the other way. The ropes are more slick than they used to be,
Mm,
just with the different
that's
equipment
it.
now that they use. Um, Another good run, burpee
Yeah.
broad jump. You had a good burpee broad jump. which is
Yeah.
surprising because you didn't fail a lot of obstacles. So I don't know why you've been doing so many burpees. So,
I practiced them in the last 5 weeks. And again, burpees, this is a place where I think I can improve, not by necessarily going faster, but doing them at the same speed, but less exhausted.
hmm.
My first row, it was one and back and forth of a distance. I think it's for 40 meters.
Yeah,
Count,
probably.
yeah. So my first row was really efficient and fast, but it got me a lot of fatigue. So on the way back, I
Mhm.
slowed down a bit, and I think it cost me a lot on my fatigue globally. So
Yeah, and then you went out had another fairly similar run. Did you do like most people when you hit the row, kind of recover, get it back a little bit?
totally,
Yeah.
totally, and I can see it in my face. My friend was filming every of my stations, so this is real. That was really cool, and I felt in kind of a dark zone on the
Mm.
rower, but I enjoyed it. I was starting to feel like the fatigue and kind of the pain, and I knew that was a zone, midpoint zone for me on the last section to push. So I took it kind of easy
hmm
to be able to go hard on the next section. And I see it on my face at some point in the video. I start like disconnecting. And when I came back, I got like a weird smile on my face. But I was just literally, even if there was like 1,000 people around, I was just like doing me. And that was really good. This is what I needed that weekend, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got a killer farmer carry, which as a grip
Mhm.
guy,
Yeah.
well done, you know. We're
Yeah.
getting obstacle guys.
Totally. That's it.
Did,
Signature.
were you like sprinting?
I push it hard
Yeah.
because all of the station, when I arrive in the zone, I was against one guy who was always in front of me, who left in my same wave.
Yep.
Solid guy. He finished second actually in my age group.
hmm
It was his first Hyrox. I don't know his name by heart. I have it somewhere on Instagram, I would say, but
Oh,
super nice guy. And every station, it
was
was
it
a bit in
Grayson Kilgore, I believe.
Kilgore. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's his Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's branding, training branding. So um, super nice guy, super strong on every station, and I wasn't gaining time, but I wasn't losing time either. I would say he might even put at me. I don't look at his split. It will be cool to look at it, but he might have put better time on the running actually, and I
hmm
might catch him in every or average on every IROC zones and on the farmer's carry. I was like, okay, this is my chance to cut some time. So it was perfect farmer's carry because it was a 100-meter lane, only one turn and 100
Yeah.
meter in the other way. So no twisting, losing speed. So I'm like, I'm going to do this unbroken. Let's go. That was my plan. It was getting hard on the
hmm
last quarter of it, but I hang on. And I think I got at least 10 seconds or maybe 15 seconds on him at that point. So we start back running, we push, I lose him on the run, and we can see my split at the running after the farmer's carry was still okay.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
But
You went pretty
when
good there.
we hit the sandbag, that was hard, but it was kind of a mind game. I was trying to keep moving fast, even if my form wasn't really good. My shoes, I bought some new shoes for Hyrox. So they were super cushy and unstable. So on the
Oh.
lunges with the fatigue that I accumulate with the rest of the workout, my legs were going like this. It wasn't nice, but I knew I can tolerate that. But my calf almost started cramping because they were trying to balance
Mhm.
my feet so much. But I kept on pushing, and I passed him at that point. And I really think we haven't talked about that after, but I really think at that point it affects him because he failed in my race. He
Okay.
was like, oh, okay, he's catching me on. So I think he tried maybe push a bit more, and he might have
Yeah.
cost him a couple of good seconds there after that.
Yeah.
So I left the sandbag totally broken, but still trying to run. So you can see my split there.
Yeah. Things start to drop off a bit.
Yeah, a lot. And what could I say about the wall ball? I knew it will be like kind of a shit show at that point because my legs were shut. and the wall balls are not my strength. I haven't practiced that kind of move almost never,
Yeah.
unless like the last 5 weeks. And at first, I was like, oh, I can go and do this unbroken. And when I reached the wall ball zone, I was like, no chance, no chance at all. But I still have a chance on my time and on my
Yeah.
goal to try to break an hour. So I didn't know exactly what time it was. I didn't watch at my time, even if I was recording my splits. I wasn't looking at this. I was just feeling myself, and that was the pain cave
Yeah.
of going for the reps. And I think I broke the first time at like 33 or 35, something like that. My form wasn't really good, but I knew I could handle it. So I just kept on pushing, and that hand up with my total time of 59:41. That I was super happy about it.
Did you get many no reps on the wall balls, or were you able to stay pretty clean?
I had no reps,
Nice.
but I would have honestly no rep, maybe two of mine. They hit the target, but they hit it like so badly. They fell almost on the side.
Ah, yeah.
Um, but I try out. I had the chance the day before to go do the walkthrough
Hmm.
before because of the affiliated gyms and stuff. And they make us try out the five tryout zone they had with the sensors.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. It was going well, and it was really permissive, I would say.
Okay.
Anywhere around your target that you hit, it was giving you the rep.
So
So
was it a pressure or was it like a light sensor?
I think it's a pressure.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's a pressure because it's a yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a pressure, but I can go wrong there. But it was really giving you the rep. So I'm like, honestly, my my person counting my rep, I'm going for it. That's good. I feel like I count myself two at the same time, and I knew I did 100.
Yeah.
So he didn't ask me for more. So I didn't give any more and just start running.
Well, I'm impressed. I can't count. I lose count at about 15 and I'm just like, whatever. I don't know what's going on now, but whatever. All right, let's check out Grayson's here. Look at
Yeah, that's
Grayson's
it,
split so we can
Grayson.
see. Yeah. So there you said on the farmer carry, yeah, 129. So you put,
Yeah,
yeah, like you said, a good 10 seconds there.
yeah,
And then your runs after, you were a little faster on that run. And then the
a bit.
sandbags. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where you
And you
started.
can see his run. All his run were pretty good. He got like an average 330, 335. He
Yep.
was a bit faster on the run than me, but the run after the sandbag, it
Yeah, that
was
was
even
pain.
slower than me.
Yeah.
Even if that was so it was both or lowest and he break on the wall ball.
Yeah, you probably made most of the ground on the wall balls, which is interesting because I mean that's something you said you weren't really.
No, that's it. But I
Yeah.
reached the wall ball, and when he arrived and joined me, I think I was around 20.
Yeah.
So it gave me confidence that that wasn't a race against him anymore, but it never have been really for me. It
Yeah.
always have been a race against me and the clock. So at that point, I was just like, I cannot slow down too much because I don't know how many seconds are left. So I
Yeah.
just need to keep pushing, keep pushing. So that was really cool.
Did you did you actually keep an eye on your watch? Like, because I know you said you were shooting for that 60. Did you keep an eye on your watch the whole time? So did you know?
Not at all. Not
No.
at all. I was only finishing laps to have my splits because
Yeah.
I even didn't know I'm not really a technology guy, and I didn't know how well pace and mark and stuff Hyrox was. So with
Yeah.
all those splits, so I did in my own made splits with my watch to know after my session to analyze it. I didn't use it eventually because I saw that all the
Yeah.
splits were already recorded. But there's a timer around the track at
Mhm.
some point close to the out section, in between the out and the in section. And at two different moments in the race, I took a look at it like clearly and made calculation in my head
Yeah.
where I'm at right now. And depending on the time that I start, how much time that I still have left. And I did that on the last run. And I figured out I still have like a 5 minute something before an hour. So I when I got in, I knew I had around 4:30 to 5 minutes
And you
with
almost
my
used
wall
it all.
balls. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Did you find, so as someone new to it, right? And like you say, you didn't really study that much. Did you find the rock zone confusing?
Yes. To be
Yeah.
100% honest, if I didn't had the chance to do the walkthrough the day before,
Hmm.
Uh, I cannot say I would have I would have got lost, but I would have been more scared, less confident
Yeah.
of going the wrong direction and everything. I would have need maybe to slow it down my effort to stay in a more focus capacity and analyzes the environment, I would say a
Yeah.
little bit more because when I show up on the Sunday afternoon, it was a completely different feel than what I saw the day before because it
Yeah.
was jam packed with people, with noise, runners of all other categories, speeds going through the lanes a bit chaotically.
Yeah.
I was almost scared, like, can I run my pace into that amount of people? Because I knew that it was a fast lane,
Hmm.
but the fast lane, like there people were running at 6 minutes per kilometers in the fast lane. So I'm like, if you arrive in there at 3:30, it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
I
don't.
no offense to people who are running at six minute per kilometers, but it's just I was hoping they call out something
Yeah.
at the starting, like, okay, we releasing pro and they will run faster, so please be sure that you are in the right spot. But at the same time, I don't have a VIP access. Everybody have their rights to race and give their best, and this is what I love about that event and the go and celebrate your fitness mindset.
Yeah.
It's attract a lot of people, and this is my job. So I love seeing people move and gather together to celebrate that. So that was really cool too. And it actually feels great to run and to share the space while I was pushing myself hard with so many range of people, not just with elites that go hard, because sometimes the community is super nice
Hmm.
and I don't have anything negative to say against any of the guy that I race with, but sometimes elites, it's a little bit more like big head and they're doing their stuff and they're more like they don't talk.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to smile and to not speak with the people that I race with because I want to preserve my my capacity, but generating a good vibe,
Yeah.
and that was really cool. I felt that Sunday night, and that was empowering, I would say.
Yeah. I always find, and for me, obviously, I'm not at your guys' level, but for me, I like kind of the crowd on the track because then
Yeah,
I'm constantly like, I gotta pass that guy. I'm gonna pass
yeah,
that guy. I'm gonna
you
pass
can
that
chase it.
guy. This gets me going a little bit more.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've been convinced for a long time that Hyrox is super precise about building everything. But then
Yeah.
by the time they get to the rock zone, they're drunk and then they just put everything everywhere. And it's mass chaos sometimes. I really don't understand it. I've tried to figure out the logic and sometimes I can't.
I
So
haven't studied it enough to take a position on that, I would say. I don't know like all the logistic around it with the maths, with
yeah.
the infrastructure and stuff. I guess it might be kind of complicated, a bit more than we might
Mhm.
thought on a first look. Um, but yeah, this one was definitely not the best rock zone
Yeah.
position that I heard from other experiment people who run like seven, eight, nine of them. That was a hard one, they said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you mentioned, I'm assuming now that this is going to be a bit of a focus for you for a while now.
it's gonna be part of my training schedules for sure. And I might become an ambassador and push this because I really see this as an amazing place to grow the community and attract people. I've been attracting people to Spartan a lot, to OCR in general in the last 10 years. I build a big community around that and I love that. But I don't want my community to be focused on a brand specifically. I want them to be hybrid, and I want them to be healthy in various numerous different field. So I feel like this is maybe my next go-to for the next 2 3 years. I think Hyrox will go really big,
Yeah.
and I want to be part of that wave and train because it brings the best out of me at the moment. So that's
Well,
it.
and I think, like, honestly, I think it's a very healthy way of training,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like, I love
Totally.
OCR. I mean, that's where we know each other. I've loved it for a long time,
Yep.
but especially, I'm getting older and I have a physical job. So for me, like downhill running, bombing down the mountains and technical terrain, that's getting a little iffy to the point where I can't hurt myself there.
Yeah,
and miss out on 2 weeks of work because of a rolled ankle or a banged up knee or something like that.
totally.
I feel the same about CrossFit. Huge CrossFit fan, love it,
Yeah.
love all the stuff about it, but a little
But
more,
the lifting, the gymnastic around it can
yeah,
make it for
can
sure.
make it a little more. So is where the hybrid stuff, Deca, Hyrox, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's super high output and it's hard,
Yeah.
but it's also a lot safer in the training and a lot
The fact
more.
that it's control
Yeah,
environment makes
yeah,
it.
yeah, and it's sustainable. It's a very sustainable training,
Yeah,
right? So
that's a good word.
that's what I really like about it. You mentioned ninja too. So are you competing in ninja still?
Nope, I haven't compete. I think did my last ninja competition last year for fun,
Yeah,
but I quit ninja more officially in 2022, at the end of 2022.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I haven't been in a while either. I think the last competition I was in was probably 2021.
yeah,
It just again, it's that sport has gone to the teenagers.
yeah, totally.
That's a kid's game now.
But relative force on
Yeah,
your body weight and your explosive capacity. And at some point, you were talking about sustainable.
yeah,
Ninja, it's a lot of powers and a lot of absorption. So as we are human, we stand on our feet, even if we sit a lot, maybe too much, but we move by walking and running way
yeah,
more easily than by hanging and suspension. And I don't say suspension is not good. I really train my people to be able to move and have freeness in their body so they can express themselves as moving as they want. But in a day to day, normal 24 hours, a normal 7 days a week, it's way easier to have a build up around Hyrox and Deca, like we
yeah,
said, type of movement without getting injured and without having to pass 10 hours specifically on mobility, strength conditioning, and
yes,
all around. And you can literally pass your 10-hour training doing specifically your zone and your movement that you like and how you feel that you're pushing in. So I would say the toolkit that you need around it is
yeah,
less intense to maintain the same amount of performance or the same level in your game. So that's another decision. I will keep doing ninja because I love it, but not to a same level because I don't have that time and that dedication to put specifically in that.
yeah. Well, when you're talking about like real life and people who have jobs and stuff, like you're saying,
Yeah,
you're talking about efficiency of time management
that's
and
it.
time management for training. And this is again CrossFit and Ninja, I'll throw them in the same category, that
Mm,
there's so much specialization on certain
exactly.
moves that you need to spend like hours just practicing the technique, not just
Yeah,
not necessarily the fitness to do so. Whereas
exactly.
with a hybrid racing, you can train pretty much any way you want
Yeah,
to increase your engine, to increase your strength, to
yeah,
increase your muscular endurance, your
yeah,
capacity, all that stuff,
yeah.
and not specialize so much on the stations that
Totally,
you don't need to spend 6 hours a day
totally,
learning how to push a sled.
totally.
You know,
Exactly.
you need the
That's
physical capacity, and then there's a
yeah,
couple little tricks here and there,
yeah,
but it's yeah, you can be more efficient with your time, and especially time
yeah,
management as
yeah.
people work and have full lives to train for it. So that's one of the things that really
Oh
brought
yeah.
me to it as well. That and I'm sick of dealing with the piss and rain and cold weather and all that shit.
I think I still enjoy the bad weather, but that point that you bring, it's exactly that. The fact that I want to diversify and be able to move freely and do different
Yeah,
stuff. And when I get to too much specialization, I cannot enjoy my bike rides, my trail running, my hard heavy lift because I love to push weight at some point, or my calisthenics or whatever. I just love to move around and be me, express myself by moving. So with a certain amount of intensity and some programmation for sure. But when it goes to a specific sport, this is why I still enjoy that much Spartan because the level of obstacle I haven't raised too much to a
yeah,
ninja level where I need to be so specific. I can still go for my fun race run in the trail with my friends at not all out, but working it out
yeah.
and having some fun doing some lache and jump from bar to bar in a kid park.
Mhm.
And I will enjoy my race and don't feel totally screwed left on the side. And this year I'm going to the Tizo World Championship in Costa Rica.
Yes.
So I expect there to have a lot more level of obstacle and but still I think I can manage myself from my background and with my running capacity, but I will train specifically the month before to have a specific hedge on that, but not going all out for a month just doing obstacles because I still want to run, bike, and whatsoever. So, yeah,
So you're going to Costa Rica. Are you doing the 15K or are you doing the 3K or both?
I think I'm doing both. I think I qualify for the two or even three events. I think there's an 100
Yeah, there's a
meters.
100 meter as well.
So this is the one I put less expectation on because I really
That
see it as a ninja 100 meters.
well, it's not though. It's honestly, it's so fast, and the obstacles. Like I don't know how much you've watched it, but it's
Not a
very
lot.
much a flow through, just bang, 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 bang. Like it's
Yeah.
not a super technical course like you would think
Yeah.
of in a lot of ninjas. It's what it is it's a lot of one touch, a lot of one touch and release,
Yeah.
right?
So
And you
fast. It's more like your gesture.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Coordination and speed, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just takes like one whoops and that's it, right? So yeah, but challenging wise, it's not I think
Yeah.
you won't struggle with that, but that pace, the pace, especially
Yeah.
you've seen some of the people in the in the APAC area,
Yeah.
right? Asia Pacific area. They've been
Yeah.
doing it longer and they are
I know. I
flying,
know. Uh-huh.
so but
Yeah.
it's exciting to watch. I was excited about the 3K though, because it's a 3K in the stadium,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that looks like a lot of fun.
That's gonna
That
be
that
nice.
that intrigued me. But anyway, all right. Anything you want to shout out? Your business, your training, anything going on?
Yeah, so many stuff going on, but we teach and coach athletes from around Canada and even the world with our online application, MoveX Training app. So it's out officially on the Apple Store and Google Play. The app is free to download, but the services is the expertise of me and my coaches that come with it that you have to pay for it. But we get in touch with you, we give you a free call, and this is really useful for a lot of newcomer into sports or even hardcore athletes who have been shifting maybe a bit more around pure trail running to they want to try hybrids or other stuff. We're a team of 6 experts. I'm one of them. I specialize in endurance sports, OCR, and now I'm going to push a bit more on the hybrid side. I might get along with an affiliated gym really soon to start classes and give training specifically to Hyrox and Deca style in the upcoming weeks. I'm based in Montreal, so a lot of physical group class are held with an amazing community. So hit me up on Instagram, the Modern Superhero, not more complicated than that, or on MoveX Training. It will be a pleasure to talk with you and get you involved in your goals.
And one more question, because you just mentioned it. Can we expect to see you in a DECA sometime soon?
I would love to. I would. I just need to look at the schedules and see where I could go. If you even got some proposition for me, like with a good level of people out there, I would be down to move around. My schedule so far is packed, but still got some free spots towards summer. So it's harder right now because half of the time I'm with my little man.
Yeah.
So make it a bit more complicated, but I enjoy that time so much. So I want to spend it with him. But race going on all the other weekends are possible. So DECA would be really nice to go and get a mark.
Yep.
What can be my time zone? I run some of them unofficially.
Yep.
So I would love to go and try a full one for
I
sure.
think Fort Wayne, Indiana might be one to keep an eye on. That's going to be, I think there's going to be some good competition there.
Oh yeah. And when is that?
July, mid-July. I think I can
Okay.
tell you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It is July 20th and 21st.
Okay. Perfect. And where is that again?
That's Fort Wayne, Indiana. And then there's
Okay.
another one, I believe in August, or is it June? Yeah, I think it's August, where there's a one for Philly down by
Okay.
Philadelphia. Because then I
Okay.
think about it for Quebec, Philadelphia might be quicker to drop
A,
straight down.
a bit closer, but August is pretty full so far. So
Yeah.
July might be a better option.
Anyway,
Cool.
Sam, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing this, and congrats, man. That you're
Thanks again.
you again, best opening time for a Canadian to High Rocks. So we'll go with that. I think
Yeah.
yeah,
I
first
have to check the stats, but I don't know if somebody break under an hour
I see.
for
I
their
was trying
first
to think
attempt
about. I
ever.
was trying to
Hunter
think about that.
didn't.
No, I was trying to think about that. I haven't come up with anybody yet, but I don't want to say
No, that's a
because I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure.
that's a
But if anyone else has, you are among the very few.
Yeah.
So well,
Thanks a
awesome, man.
lot for having me, Dave, and always believe in me. So you always have been a a strong motivation by pushing me like, yeah, you should try this out and think that I can do great. So I appreciate it a lot.
Well, thank you for making me look smart when I keep telling him Sam's going to be good at this shit.
Have
All right, everybody, take care.
a good one.